Good morning, everyone. Is this that? No? Yeah. Hello. Good morning. Is everyone pumped up? Excited? Yeah? Yeah, good morning. Looks and genders aside, I feel literally like Britney Spears today here on stage. I think he's the other way. Yeah. You know, this via YouTube, potential massive crowd, microphone over here. But well, it's an honor for being here today, especially at such a well-known event and at such a young age. In preparation for today, I've watched a lot of TED Talks, and there was one in particular that really got my attention. And it was about sex. How much sex you can have, the quality of sex you have, how much can help you through your day, fantasies. Got someone's attention, doesn't it? You got mine. But what I'm going to be talking here today is not sex, unfortunately. But I really hope that I can maintain the same levels of inspiration and engagement that talk gave it to me. So, when I first received the invitation to speak at TED, I was very surprised and very happy, as more because the host, Manuel Fujaj, was my very first boss at the age of 16 years old. And at the time, I recall, he used to call me not the intern, but the piece on the stairs, which in his own words was the step before you start pursuing one purpose. And that purpose at the time, my burning purpose, was to achieve independence from my parents, like every teenager wants to do. Despite my young age, that won me the Employee of the Month. I got a bonus, and I was working with very senior marketing qualified people. But at age of 20, more or less, I had been through all sorts of jobs. Had independence, had some money, but I didn't enjoy much of a fulfillment. And this is where I understand that challenge is what makes your life interesting. And overcoming those same challenges is what gives meaning to your life, either in a personal or a professional perspective. And I was not known by being the best student at the time. Was a horrible student. Teachers didn't like me. So I quit school when I started working, and that was the reason. And you might be wondering what motivated me then to go to university. What actually motivated me? And the answer is very simple. Is possibilities. The possibilities were either me continue to juggling from job to job, several low-paid jobs. I was a bartender, delivering newspapers in the street, being a promoter, or go to university. And intend to help my parents later on when I establish myself. And this could be done either me staying here and then go to US or UK and learn a different language in my area of expertise. So the next question is, why not? Why can't I do it? And this really strikes me off. It strikes me because every time you dare to dream high or aim high, people either tell that you're crazy, that you can't do it, or you're just dreaming. And being the person that I am today and what I've done through my life, I just said, why can't I? And once you ask that question to yourself, why can't you? And you can't figure out the reason you can't do it, you're just going to figure out how you're going to do it. So I packed my bags, asked for a student loan, and went on a journey of globalization. So this is very important. We're living an economic crisis. I decided to challenge a little bit my life. And I really love my country, but we can't be defined by national borders. And I say this because I love Portugal. I was born and raised here, and I'll continue to come here over and over again. But just like our ancestors did, there's a whole new world of opportunities out there to discover. If you're young, no attachments, just go and discover. It's important you take responsibilities once you decided to make this move and go abroad if you're young. You need to take responsibilities, you need to elaborate a core plan, but you also need to retain some responsibility. And what I mean with flexibility is you need to be able to adapt yourself to situations that surprises that might happen. And they do happen every once in a while. For example, me, I went to London with my girlfriend in 2008. And I remember once I got there, put all my resources into it, and eventually I thought I was going to get married with her. But very little did I know that she didn't have the same plan. So, no marriage. And I decided I was quite lost for quite a long time, and I couldn't find my compass, my north, or whatever it was. So I decided to move on, and someone very, very wise told me, I was completely lost, and that person told me, Ricardo, life is not about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself, allowing things to happen, and having the trust in yourself to adapt. And I did this by linking ideas. And linking ideas in my time in London was me get out of that city and go to San Francisco, apply to university there. I was in a different, complete environment, meeting people from all over the world, but I was also going to learn a very important lesson. And this time was completely different. It was about spending too much money. In other words, more than I could afford. But I found myself in US, San Francisco, a very technological hub, the land of opportunities, as they claim. I was very excited, meet people from all over the world. But I had 1 year of university to finish when I came back from San Francisco with only £400 in my account when I returned to London. Coming to London with £400, as you can imagine, in 1 year to finish is not the best thing. My windows start closing really fast. So I had two options. Again, facing two possibilities. It was either me returning to Portugal with a feeling of failure or figure out an action plan. So I decided to call a friend. I went to his place. It was an hour away from my university. I went from £400 to £360 in the space of an hour when I spent on the cab. I got to his place and I realized I had to share a bed with him. And he's not any sort of friend will do that for you, believe me. So for a month I was living with him, and I decided that I need to get out of here. I'm going to get a job. Dropped my bags, went to get a job. I went from, charged my monthly pass, and I went in the space of 3 hours in London from £400 to £260. My windows were starting closing even faster. So, moving on, I went there to my who was the factory manager, who you do not believe was also Portuguese. And he hired me on the spot, kindly hired me there. Got there, and the next month we'd be working really hard. I'd had to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, go to school, 9 a.m. till 5, studying, 5 o'clock in the afternoon until 1 a.m. in the morning, I would be working in the student bar. And on the weekends, I would be catching up on my books, writing my dissertation. After a month, I got a look from the girlfriend of my friend telling me, when do I get to sleep with my boyfriend? And this was literally when I hit the bottom. So here's where, I did not know what was this at the time, but trusting Providence and believing in keeping the focus on my main goals began to kick in and work out for me. So I focused on my main goal, and I would sit down in the library until the day that my friend Sebastian came in, and he said, "Hey, Ricardo, what's up?" I said, "What's up? How you doing?" Completely lost. And I said, "Have you heard the news?" "No." "What happened?" "Well, the resident assistant just got fired by dealing drugs. So why don't you apply before the job goes off?" I said, "Well, all right." So this is how, only with £260 in my name, I managed to survive in London, in Regent's Park, one of the most desirable areas in Europe to live, rent-free, free gym membership. It only took me 5 minutes from my bed to my classroom. Live well and behave well. What do I mean with this? I knew that my luck has changed, but I had to keep my focus on. My master plan had to be on track, and I was working every day. I had to make sure that I wouldn't party too much or too hard, and otherwise I would blow an opportunity. I saw parties, girls coming in front of me, and I said, well, I have to stay focused. I can't do it. It was hard at the time. So it was during the week I was working on my suit because I decided to email a very inspiring person in the US, which I met in San Francisco, at a technology event. Email him if I could do an internship and also interview him for my dissertation. After a week, I was working for him on one of the most fast-paced organizations I've ever worked, wicked and passionate company. So I was interning for him and studying at the same time, wearing a suit Monday to Friday. And during the day, I was just wearing a t-shirt at night, and working at the student bar. And on the weekends, I was doing external weddings, doing some catering. So my experience today, until now, what I can say is, is that you need to focus on your ideas, and your goals became blurry every once in a while, and you need to continue with that focus of work smarter rather than harder. And in order to go into this global village, as I did, I managed to learn different languages, meet different people from all over the world, and this helped me out to, one way or another, to get out of the crisis that we're living today. So in order to get where I am today, I don't think you need to be perfect. What you need is be clear on your objectives, remarkable in your focus, and in the way you approach tasks in hand. And that's what you need to do. There's no need for you to be perfect, because no one is perfect. I wasn't the best student. So I managed to get here. Everyone can get it. And I like the sentence says, if you're not living on the edge, you're just taking too much space of your life. So I've also understood that challenges, adversity, doubters, fears of failure were my best friends, were the ones that make me push harder and be ready to face the problems, rather than come back to Portugal with my feeling of failure. But no, those, rather than holdbacks, were my boosters to be here today. So, to conclude, finally, what I have to say is, to the young generation that is living on this economically challenging time, is that if you're told no, you can't do it, just ask why not. Don't allow yourselves to be defined by national borders. Take responsibility for yourself. Create opportunities by linking ideas. This is very important. Plan carefully, but stay flexible. Otherwise, you end up like me, completely lost when my girlfriend left me in London. I thought I was going to get married. Work hard and smart, but stay very focused. Trust Providence to help you. Where focus goes, energy flows. I've heard this sentence not very long ago, and it really inspired me. Live well and behave well. Make sure that everything you do is going to have consequence. So you have to understand that if you live well and behave well, you're going to get it back. And this is my motto, is enjoy life, push yourself to win remarkably, not on average results. Thank you.